wanted to start with a picture. You know, a picture sometimes can tell 1,000 words. And so we have a picture that we would like to show the committee. And this is a picture of our graduation last year. And this is the way it's been for the last 5 years at Western Heights Schools in Oklahoma City. Every year in a message of accountability, we go to our people and we say, this is a cohort of students that we enrolled in the 9th grade, and this is how many of that cohort dropped out, and this is how many of that cohort graduated, and this is how many of that cohort that we totally impacted and served. And the message is simple, I think, in America right now. This is not the same country as when I was growing up in the 60s. I entered the 9th grade, I knew who I would graduate with, I understood that. Now it's not quite that way. In this particular diagram, every year we lose, or every 4 years, we lose 45% of our students, Mr. Chairman. We have to do something about this. We have to retool America's schools to deal with this issue of mobility. And so, if you come to our school district this year, I promise you, this will be the way it will be. And we will tell in the most serious way of accountability how things are going with our public school. If we can go forward. At Western Heights, we too operate and give our public an understanding of what's going on with our school system. We use an enterprise model. We want to show the performance of every student in every teacher's classroom, and we practice what we call managed access for privacy control. That is, the teacher views records of her students and her students only. A parent views the records of her family, their family only. Principal views records of students in the site only. And it took us a while to get to that point, but that's where we are. So we're going to go forward, and we're going to go directly into our network right now live, and we will show you a student's record that we have permission to show. And if we didn't lose our login, we're going to have to log in right quick and catch the student record. Timed out on us. And as I said, we maintain total control, managed access control of the record. If the status of a family changes, Mr. Chairman, we have automated controls that shut down access to the family record. And that way we're protecting the privacy of individuals. And we need to come on down to the student record, Mr. Anderson. Okay, and now you see the record, and this is real-time access of data. So we're going to look at Sean's enrollment, and it's not just real-time, it's historical data. So let's look at current enrollment. Let's look at all enrollment. That's the current enrollment status, and he's been enrolled with us for 6 or 7 years, so we have historical data. One of the critical things about data in America is in the schools is to have access to historical data. Let's look at schedule data. This is not something that you'll normally see, and this is a current schedule. This is live data of Sean's current schedule, but in historical terms, let's look at Sean's schedule for the last 3 years. So for the past 3 years, we've been able to pull up historical schedules. If you wanted an electronic transcript, this is the way it would have to work. That's year 7. Let's get year 8. So year 9 data. Okay. Go back up. Go get year 8 data. Or that's year 9. okay? So you can see that we're moving back and forth in schedules over time. So let's go to attendance information. So we're gathering all of this information on the child, and we're going to get daily attendance right now, today. And if you could, let's just get it for the year, full year. And there it is. And if you want historical data, we can go back in time and pull it for 3 or 4 years, every year. Okay, let's offer the grades, the current grades, and as I said, the mother signed a release and understands how this is being used. And there's the grades. And let's look at the assessment information. Okay, let's look at results on assessments. And let's look at the ACT plan. And here is the data on the plan. Let's go back. Let's look at a state test. Right there, under assessment. Right here. The EOIs, these are state tests. And you're actually seeing how the record can pull up. Well, let's hit it. And Algebra 1 assessments. We go back, we can hit another assessment, and every assessment that the district gives is now available to the teacher, and the teacher of record only. And this allows us to move in and out, okay? Now, at other, and this is what I call a cross-boundary, we're actually pulling data from the child nutrition system into the system. And so we have what we call cross-boundary transformation of data. 12 disparate data systems working simultaneously in managed access. The only reason anybody here is able to see this today is because this parent has signed off to let that happen. We can shut that down, okay? And let's go on at that point. Now, I would say to the people here in D.C., to our government, it's time to deal with mobility. We have to we have to do this on behalf of our children. This is not the same society as we had 25, 30, 40 years ago in the sense of we have people on the move, and we need to move data with children so we can make informed decisions about their educational lives.